On question number 16, we're going to graph this partial function. Notice x equals 2 is my endpoint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a table. I'm going to have y, or x, and 2x plus 1. My 2x plus 1 is actually y. I'm going to start at 2. Notice there's a line underneath the 2, so I know that's my endpoint is going to be a closed dot. I'm going to pick a number smaller than 2. Well, it would be a number smaller than 2. I like 0. As long as you pick something smaller. Now let's substitute those in. So 2 times 2, because x is 2, plus 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So we're going to put a closed circle on our graph at 2 and 5. Okay. Then I'll put in 0. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. So then we're going to graph 0 and 1. And since I'm going to the left, I'm going to draw a line from my endpoint going to the left. Then I'll make a new rule for my second part of my function. My second part of the function is going to be when x is greater than 2. So I'm going to do 2 and x minus 2. I'm going to put in 2. Notice there is no line, so we're going to put an open circle on 2. I'll pick a number bigger than 2. I like 3. Now we'll solve those out. So 2 minus 2. Well, 2 minus 2 is 0. So I put an open circle at 2 and 0. Then I will do 3 minus 2, which is 1. And so then I'll put my point over 3 and up 1. Now that would be a closed circle because the only one that's open is the 2. Everything else is closed. And then draw a line going to the right. Notice it's not continuous because you can't draw this without lifting up your pencil. On number 7, we want to find the slope of our line. So I'm going to go y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to subtract my two y's. xy, xy. So we're going to get negative 2 minus 7 all over 5 minus a negative 8. Negative 2 minus 7 is negative 9. 5, when you subtract a negative, we get a positive. So 5 plus 8 is 13. And there's our solution, negative 9 over 13. We do the same thing on question number 8. We'll blow this up a little bit. And so we go x, y, x, y. So we're going to go negative 3 minus 9 all over 5 minus 5. Negative 3 minus 9 is negative 12. 5 minus 5 is 0. You can't divide by 0, so we simplify that to be undefined. Negative 12 over 0 is the correct work, but I don't want just the correct work. I want the answer. Okay, and number 9. It says in 2010, there were 1,744 people in Watford City, North Dakota. In 2019, there were 7,817. It grew by quite a bit, not because of the oil boom. I want to find the rate of change. Well, rate of change, remember, is you're changing your dependent variable over your change in your dependent variable. It's just like slope, except we have units. So let's do the population. So we're going to take 7,817 minus 1,744. We'll divide that by, well, in 7,718, that was in 2019. And 1,744 was in 2010. So I know my denominator is 9, because 19 minus 10 is 9. Now I'm going to use my calculator for the other part. So I'm going to take 7817. And I'm going to subtract 1,744. Make sure I got that number right. So that turns out to be 6,073. Then we're going to divide that by 9. And we get about 675, we'll say. 675 is not correct. It's 675 people per year. You have to include the units on there. Okay, on number 10, we want to graph that. We can graph it in a couple different ways, but I think the easiest way is look at your slope-intercept form. Notice my starting point is 0, so we put a dot at 0. And then from there, we're going to go down 3 and over 4. And we'll plot our point there. And then there's your equation of our line.